Right. So today I'm going to discuss about the JSON file in context to the property settings are concerned when we are downloading any software. Because as far as the present session is concerned, there is a software for Cold Fusion, because Cold Fusion is one of the software majorly used to develop some web applications, etc. In that regard, so whenever we are installing the Cold Fusion part in context to the Cold Fusion application, it's always important for us to access the source files, right? So different source files we have to say access. We have to access the source files, and whatever the required proposed settings you want to make, everything can be done. In this regard, it's always important for us to understand about different files like XML files, JSON files, all that. So JSON is something which normally are we using. So this is how generally a JSON file majorly looks like, because if you want to perform any installation process for any of the software you want to be performed. So there are different JSON files which are essentially required for us to install. At the same time, how to read the JSON file and how to make some corrections. JSON, nothing but JavaScript object notation, right? So this is something, a file format, majorly if you want to store any kind of data, right? So or else if there is any kind of exchange of data, uh, mm, which is something possible for anyone to read. Let's say, for example, we are the users. If we want to read the data, so which is incompatible from the machine perspective, there must be some kind of file format which is required so that we can store and as well as exchange the data. For that reason, JSON is what generally the file format we are using. In this context, this is what generally the JSON file. If there is any kind of proposed settings you want to make in the existing one, that also can be done here. So these JSON files, it's always important when we are learning the technology or whenever we are learning technical learning. Either it need not be a programming, but having some programming knowledge or technical knowledge, now and then it's becoming important. So by importing those caching files, right? So here there are different caching files. You can see different caching files for different files we have taken. So further, generally JSON file format is something we have used. So this is the data which is already loaded. Okay, these are the data which we are loading it and we are storing it. So that generally this is something which normally we use over here. So from the technical perspective, while we are learning, or when you want to implement any kind of Java projects, for example, right? So if you want to build any projects relating to the Maven or Java projects, if you want to learn anything, it's always important for you to understand about the file formats, JSON file format. Reading of how to read a JSON file format is something which we need to learn. So once we learned about the file format, it's always important for us to make some corrections. Means if there is any kind of corrections to be made into the existing file format, this can be done majorly whenever we are working on even data migration side. Also, when we are working on the data migration, read how, especially when we are working on healthcare projects also, reading XML or JSON files and making some corrections into that is something which is essentially required from the technical side. So this is all about the JSON is all about. Until next session, I'm going to discuss about mm, mm, uh, Node.js, right? So that's what something which I'm going to, because that's Node JavaScript, right? That is what something which I'm going to discuss in the next session.